People ask Reddit. What's the dumbest way you've managed to get laid? My friend texted me saying she got a flat tire and doesn't know how to change one. Asked her where she was, and it was a 10-minute drive from my place, so I headed over to change her tire. She was hot AF, but I never made a move cause 19-year-old me believed the whole she's out of my league thing, and she was 2 years older. We met through mutual friends. Anyways, I told her it's all good, you can drive back home now. She said no, sit in the car, let's get you cleaned up, confused. And I said, it's fine, I can just go back home, it's no biggie. She said just sit and chill for a bit. Next thing I know we were making out and she got on top, and I liked car sex ever since. Sadly though, that did ruin the friendship months later and we just ended it. This is not a story about getting myself laid, it's the story of me being a terrible wingman and still managing to get my friend laid. So I was trying to do a buddy a solid and be a good wingman at the bar one night. I was talking to a girl at the bar while we were getting our drinks for our respective tables, and she leaned over to ask me about my friend. Now you have to understand my friend, he is a big dumb as duck, but he has a heart of gold. He can also be goofy as duck sometimes. I described some of the things he has done and she kinda rolled her eyes and went back to her table. So I was kind of feeling bad for not really helping a brother out. About an hour later we crossed paths again, and while we were talking my buddy came over to see what was taking me so long with the drinks. He was slightly drunk, and when he saw us talking he walks over and blurts out, you want to get a pizza and duck? As she started to walk away he then says, what, don't you like pizza? I think he was actually talking to me, but the girl found it so funny she had tears streaming down her face and laughed her drink up her nose. They dated for quite some time actually. Spent the evening jokingly pretending to be Irish and married to a also completely non-Irish lady in the smoker's corner. Many jokes were had. She put her arms around my shoulders and said, take me home Patty and show me that you love me. So I did. In college, a few girls were over just hanging out with my roommates and I, one of which I was interested in. We had a few sips of liquid courage and were having a generally nice, no mischief kind of night. Eventually the booze kicked in. Me, okay, who wants to play a game? Everyone, okay sure. What do you have in mind? Me, who wants to have sex with our coyote? Girl I do, so we did. My roommates were shocked that actually worked. Before my wife was my wife, she was just a random woman that came back to my house one night with other assorted ransoms my housemate and I met at the pub. At some stage I said, wanna see where I sleep? And we had the most awkward one night stand. I couldn't get it up due to alcohol. She called me the next day, we met up again, ducked, and 13 years and 3 kids later I'm replying to this post on Reddit. Walked into a friend's dorm room to borrow a bottle opener. Didn't know he had 3 to 4 women in his room at the time. I saw a girl with a pretty fantastic posterior. I said with 100% confidence and conviction, and I quote, wow. You have an amazing butt. I got the bottle opener and left the room, didn't say another word. About 10 minutes later I hear a knock at my door. The girl said 4 words, you have a girlfriend? I said no, and that was it. Friend had passed out at my house after a party. Next morning, she asks to take a shower before headed home. Sure. After water running, she's naked, she asked me to come help her with the temperature. We're good friends, I'd seen her naked before so it was odd, but I'm no prude. I help her out. 2 minutes later she asks if I have an extra toothbrush. She's still not in the shower yet. I hop to it, grab her one. She looks me square in my stupid face and says, so, do you want to have sex or no? I pause, look back at her and gather myself. Me, yup. I've seen her naked before. I think the obvious question here is, how many times had you previously missed out on having sex with her because you were utterly clueless? So I just picked up my dog from Petco after getting him groomed and ran inside to pay my bill and pick up some dog treats. The girl at the register was clearly having a bad day. We chatted up a bit and she explained she just got dumped by a guy over a tattoo. I told her that I was having a dip day too, and if she wanted to give me a call after she is off and I'll buy her a beer. Later that evening she sent me a text asking if I wanted to see the tattoo she got dumped over. I said yes. She then sent me a picture of a pair of wolf paws tattooed on her boobs. I just responded nice, and she then asked if I wanted to see them in person. I just sent her my address, and about 20 minutes later I had some very awesome rebound sex. My now wife and I were at a con and were changing in the hotel room. She was somewhere else for the moment, so I put on my red Power Ranger costume I brought and did a sexy pose on the bed as I waited for her. I must have looked like a ducking idiot, but by God it worked. I had my eyes on a woman at a pub for some time, way out of my league as usual, but she was with a group of guys. When she finally was on her own, I went over and chatted her up. It was just too easy, and before you knew it we were in a cab headed back to my place. The morning after, she started referring to conversations that we never had, and that's when I realized that she'd mixed me up with the guy who she was actually going home with from the pub. He was probably just gonna go to the bathroom or something. We were playing drunk Mario Kart, and I wasn't letting her win. My mate was like, "Bro, you should be letting her win." I said, loud enough for her to hear, "Why? It's not like she's gonna shag me." Later on she shagged me. We used to have a game of Diddy chat-up lines and I managed to get laid by asking a girl if she fancied a duck. She said no. So I asked if she'd mind laying down while I have one. She was in tears laughing and took me home with her. Same game, different night. My mate says to a girl, "You look good for a fat lass." How TF he got a duck out of that is beyond me, but he did. They ended up dating for 2 years after too. Accidentally spilled my drink on a chick. Wasn't even talking to her, didn't even know her name. Her, "You wanna take me home and get me wet the right way?" Me trying to drink what little drink I had left, yes. I brought a big bag of lollipops to a festival. The girlfriend of my friend asked me why, so I told her so I can give them out to some girl. She told me it's so corny it might work. The look women give you when you step up and ask them if they want to suck on something and pull out a handful of lollipops. Still don't believe it worked. I was 23, I had invited an old HS friend over to catch up, hang out, hit the bar with. In an effort to keep an amazing and long conversation going, I had switched to soda so I didn't get over the top drunk and lose the conversation. We laughed, we got deep, and we even taught each other our favorite hobbies we had picked up over the years. It's now 4 a.m. and we'd been chatting about everything, and I finally say that I'm tired and we should probably head to bed. I grab her bag and put it in my room and grab a blanket to head over to the couch. She asks if I wanted to sleep in my bed and then insisted that she could take my bed. Then she asks again over a text, "Now that I'm laying on the couch, you sure you don't want to come sleep in your bed?" I replied, "Lol, no, I promise you're totally okay. I don't mind the couch." To which she walks out naked and says, "Boy, take off your ducking pants and duck me." We do that deed, and at the time I was emotionally reckless and I tried giving her a kiss when she left the next morning, and shed said, "No, I just wanted the sex, bro. I don't want a boyfriend. I just got rid of one." Big yikes on that part, lol. A girl was standing close to me in the bar. My friend kicked her lower leg from an angle so it seemed like I had kicked her. She turned around and kicked me back and asked why I had kicked her. I told her I wanted her attention. We spend the whole evening/night together. A girl sent me a text saying she was in the shower. I replied with "without me." She invited me over and the following events occurred. Still can't believe it actually worked. 100% the corniest it I've ever said. I still think about it sometimes. Well, maybe she was trying to get you to do it, because why else would you tell anyone that you are in the shower? Probably trying to get the image of her naked in your brain. Visited 2 girls while I was on vacation who I knew from Tinder. They told me and a friend of mine that we can stay at their place so we don't need to pay for a hotel. Later we were in the city for a few drinks, and on our way home my conversation with one of the girls was something like this. "Me, I really need to shower. It was like 27 degrees Celsius at night." Girl, "Me too, but I am going first." Me, "But girls always take like 5 times as long." Girl, "Yeah, still going first." Me, "Oh, F you." Girl, "Sure, but you need to join me then." I was playing flip cup at a party and this girl just couldn't flip her cup. She exclaims, "Duck me." Out of frustration, and as my immature self would often do with girls, I said I volunteer as tribute. Afterwards we flirted for a bit and ended up borrowing a bedroom at the house party. Had never worked before, didn't expect anything to come of it, and it never worked again. Thank you for listening to another B-Town Reddit Stories episode. Hit the subscribe button and check out our channel for more stories. Let us know your opinion about this topic in the comments.